Hi, I'm Linda Montana from the Wild Wild West. I've been riding like a crazy woman all my life. I think I've always been horse crazy. So. This is made out of sash cord, trick ropes were, and I think Will Rogers was the beginning of that. Monty Montana was my former father-in-law. Made them kind of famous with all his trick roping. I'm going to try this. Let me see if I can get her done. There we go. That's called a cowboy's wedding ring. All it takes is a lot of practice. We used to do Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, and we did Mexican charreadas. We would come in on horseback and do a grand entry, and bad guys chasing the stagecoach. Buffalo Bill would come and save the day. We had a knife thrower. His name was Chief Gray Otter. Skeeter Vaughn, he was an actor. I stood for him many times for the knife thrower. You're standing there, you're like, this is it. I used to can-can dance, and we all can-can danced, and then kind of do a quick grand entry finale and sell it. And yeehaw, on to the next show. Down the road we go. Anyway, this is the flat loop. You have to just keep remembering to draw a circle with it. Well, we went to Australia, Singapore, does Canada and Mexico? Canada and Mexico count? I don't know. In Japan, they give you horses from the track. These horses barely know G and Ha, which is like pulling their head right or left, and they're wild. And we have to teach them to pull a stagecoach. We have to teach them to be trick rode on. We had to teach them to get used to gunfire, and they ended up doing really well. Kuwait was one of the last shows that we did overseas at the time. Before the invasion, we were staying at a Holiday Inn, which was considered like a Four Seasons hotel there at the time. We would go up on top of the roof and we could see the fighting going on. It was like watching 4th of July fireworks between Iran and Iraq. Our show was crazy. It was sold out, and it was an interesting audience because the men just hoot and holler, but the women can't show any sort of animation whatsoever. And they're completely in these black outfits and these black masks and the burqa and the outfit. And they can't even, they're not even supposed to clap. They just sit there and you're thinking, oh, I hope you're having a good time. But the men, we had trick riders going by. They'd be doing a hippodrome stand, which is when you're standing, running a horse down along the arena, and these men would try to grab the girls off the horse. It was really crazy. Sometimes these ropes kind of have a mind of their own, kind of like a horse and humans. With a horse, it just bucks you off, and with humans, I guess they buck you off too. I don't know. This is called a butterfly. I had an experience in the shopping bazaar. There were 4 of us women, and my husband Monty was with us, and another man. And you should always have a man with you. Otherwise, they consider that you're prostituting yourself. I stepped inside the store, and there was a picture on the wall of a Bedouin with his Arabian horse and all the regalia. And I stepped in, and I asked the guy, and I said, how much? And he grabbed my chest. Well, I'm an American girl. I decked him. I decked him, shoved him off of me, and he went down. And then my husband, Monty, was a great big guy, and he stepped in there. Women don't do that here, and they were all yelling. So he made a formal complaint that they had attacked his wife, and they were complaining that I had decked him, and women aren't supposed to do that. That whole time was frightening. And then one day we went out to the fairgrounds to get ready to do the show, and there was a big padlock on it. Well, the guys that were sponsoring the shows, they were international bad guys, and they were picked up by Interpol. So we were given 24 hours to leave the country, or they will hold everybody in some sort of a jail facility for a year until it comes to trial, because they wanted to know if we were how we were affiliated with these guys. We had all kinds of wagons and stagecoaches, so Monty said, just everyone grab what you can. A year later was the invasion of Kuwait. We had to sneak out of the country. So these are stories of the Wild West.
You got to give all your heart if you want to.
I haven't really had fear. I didn't think about whether I could or couldn't do it, I just did it. I have a certain drive. My drive is to keep going. I don't even know if I sit still on a horse, but I've been told I do.
Don't you hurt me. I come from.
If you're riding a horse and your horse is really troubled and giving you a lot of trouble with what you're trying to do, he changes direction. You put a different thought in his or her mind, and usually they're more accepting to go back into whatever it was you were asking him to do. I've had to do that to get through a lot of different situations in my life. It's been interesting so far. I got to see how I turn out.
You got to give her your heart.
Just swing it, you know, and try to swing it, and then just throw a nice rope.
Got me.
I got you.